So again, you're being recorded, so am I. Recordings have started. I'm taking a look at the poll real fast. If you haven't answered the poll, it's done. A data scientist would say, well, these numbers are skewed. So you can see there 43% and 43% saying it's okay. We're going to continue this. If you're a part of, the other, if you're one of the two people that say you're falling behind, is I don't know this until today, and so you got to talk to me and let me know these things. So like, why are we falling behind? Because you need more time, or is it too, or you're not understanding something? And either way, we need to resolve those things. And so judging by the votes today, we're going to continue forward with Codecademy. I always like to check in with all of my classes to make sure that we're in a good spot. It's better than just reading a traditional text, in my opinion. I think it's a nice interactive way to learn this stuff. And I think it's a good complement to the stuff that we're missing in class. Normally, I keep you for a full 2 hours and I'm talking and we're doing demos the whole time. Like, you leave every Web 1 class with your head spinning. And I like to give you your money's worth. But the medium won't allow us to do that, and the situation won't allow us to do that. And what I like about Codecademy is you kind of get you get the same depth, right? But in your own time. So before we move on from Codecademy, any questions or any comments? Go ahead and hit the space bar. Say something. Right? Tell me that my hair looks goofy. Say something. I don't know. I had to create an Instagram account today. I'm on Insta now, y'all.
For the, it's not about Codecademy, sorry, right. But it's about Hover. Is that right? Hover.
Yeah, we're gonna do that today.
Yeah. To upload that, because I saw the assignment. Is it just like our domain name, like the website?
Just your domain name. So Blake, okay. Blake, what is your domain name?
Mine is shakenblake.online, I believe.
I'm sorry, Brandon. It was.
I apologize.
Oh,
yeah, no, Blake, good. Also good. Also still good.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah. Mine's just bmcclure.site.
Right. And I own the glorious Manakoff.xyz, and that's all you need to submit. It's just that URL. We're gonna fix all of that today. All right. All of that said, let's get into Hover. All right. So the first thing I need you to do, judging from the chat, is log into Hover. No information about new technology and where to sign up to make an account.
You were talking about the
Netlify?
The new one we were going to.
All right. So. If you need something to do, you're getting caught up here. I'm going to end the poll because we've all voted. Here, click on email. So once you go into Netlify, sign up, go ahead and just click on email and then create your new account. That's it. All right, let's log into Hover. Okay. So I have two domains here. The one that we're going to be working on is the one that you bought. So we can go ahead and click on this. And today, and then you're going to go into DNS. And this is going to be weird, but today we're going to delete all the DNS entries because we're moving locations. Okay. So basically our phone number, right, or Manakoff.xyz was pointing to this address. Okay. And we're going to say you're going to go to somewhere else instead of going to CodePen. You're going to go to Hover, and that process takes time, and you should kind of get it started here. Thank you for letting me know. Andy, let's see here. All right, if I'm mispronouncing anybody's name, please let me know. I have a unique name myself. And so, all right, check. We're into hover.com. Okay, I'm going to go and find my domain under domains. And domains. I don't like the new Hover. I like the old one. Yes, Hover, I said that. I like your old design. Click on domains. Your account. Account control panel. All right, we're into here. Going to find the domain that I'm working on. In this case, Manakoff.xyz. And like I just said, we're going to go to the DNS tab, and we're going to delete all of the records for this DNS tab because we're moving locations, and like all that talk I did at the beginning of class, there's good reason for that. So you're going to go ahead and click on this button right here, right, and select them all. And then we're going to go, and hopefully they're going to let us do a bulk. Oh, good. We have a bulk selection. We're going to do a bulk delete. It's right here. We're going to go edit all 4. Now you might only have 2. All right, we want to delete all these 4 entries. So again, right, I have them all selected. and I'm going to delete all 4 entries. And so yes, do you really want to delete all 4 records into this? Yes. Okay. And it should be blank. And we're going to come back at the end of class and add in the entries that we need. All right. Thumbs up. Yeah, you got this. You got all of your records deleted. Check, check. All right. So we're starting over, right? And this is fine. We're just pointing it to a new location. Okay. We're just pointing it to a new location. Okay. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and check our site. So back into CodePen and your CodePen projects. Okay. Get into your CodePen projects. And I've provided a link in multiple places. Course website is the example professor website. Our master professor pen is the example professor website. We will come back to Codecademy and CSS later on, but today is about process, deployment, and version control. Okay. So right there's a link to my project, and it should take you all to here. Again, I should be able to see all of your code, and you should be able to see all of mine, and that's that level of transparency I need us to get used to working with. All right, so we have some pages here. Okay, and we need to, I'm gonna close everything up but index.html, which is our homepage. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and make a new file here. Go ahead and click on new file. We're gonna call this thing portfolio.html. Okay, portfolio, all lowercase, all lowercase, all lowercase, all lowercase. One more time, new file, portfolio.html. All right. So we have our homepage is index.html. We have our contact page, which is going to have our form. And the other benefit of creating a Netlify account is we're going to have an actual form that can actually send to us, and it's going to actually do a lot of the spam filtering for us. I'm just getting you ready for Web 2 earlier. Normally, we do this on day 1 in a typical Web 1 class, and all of the workarounds that I tried to find with CodePen to deal with the situation that we're in, it was more trouble than it's worth. And I'll show you where the troubles lie in just a second here. Okay, then we're going to go to portfolio.html. Okay, and you'll notice that it's blank, and we have 2 things that we can do here under portfolio.html. We can go to index.html and just copy out what we need, right? Or we have the shortcut, right? Which is what? Exclamation point, tab, right? And we're going to call this thing portfolio. And come into our body and go ahead and make an H1 and call this also portfolio. All right, save on all that, all good. All right, then we have one more page that we need to make. And this is one of my favorite pages to make. If we go to ewu.edu, you don't have to do this. And if I mistype, right, you can hear me smashing loudly on my keyboard here. If I mistype, I'll get this 404 error. And a 404 page is great. It lets the user know, hey, you haven't forgotten about me. It doesn't go to just a blank page. It's not just some random computer gibberish that a user is going to have to make sense of. This is good user experience, right? And as designers, like there's entire 404 galleries, and there's design competition for 404, and you can actually put quite a bit of work into not 440. Let me show you some examples here, and this will be a future lecture, but there are really good examples of 404 error pages here. Right, so is everybody good on what a 404 is, right? If you ever go to a website and you just like mistype something, like here's the Star Wars one, it'll show this in the Death Star. Here's Vader, the Delaware, like where that's cute, right? Like this is all good stuff. Like you don't want to just leave your users hanging, right? Because it's jarring, and we want good, but not this one. All right, and I'll show more and more examples of 404 page. Oh, that one is beautiful, right? So any website you go to, right, just go ahead. Now that I have Instagram, like what happens if I go to an Instagram page that doesn't exist? What does it give me? Don't know. Let's find out. Okay. This could be a much better 404 page, right? How about you show me some stuff to look at? Okay. So sorry, this page isn't available. Go back to Instagram. No, that's not a good 404. All right. So there's that. And to get this, right, used to take a lot of like server finagling and a lot of like just extra work. Now all you need to do is this. Go ahead and make a new file. Call this 404.html. What? Yeah. Like young Colin was like is screaming right now because you work to make this. It used to be harder, but now we just have all right. So we have again, you can see all of my code. We're going to do that exact same thing, right? Exclamation point tab. All right, and we're just going to call this thing 404. Okay, and this is also good for search engines. It lets us know that, like, if a link is broken about where to go to, and you go ahead and put an H1 in there, and we'll find some nice stuff to put on this. Typically, we go to Giphy. We find a nice fail GIF, fail, right? And we'll put one of these on the page. Okay. Let's see here. What's a good fail? Right? That's just a nice 404. Okay. But we'll come back to that. All right. So what have we done? We have our home page there, right? We have our contact page that we've made in the past. We created a new page, right? Called portfolio.html, all lowercase. Create a new page called 404.html, all lowercase. Now, what we can't do is we can't get to all these pages because we don't have our navigation in place. So all we need to do is go back to our home page, index.html. And what we're going to do is we're going to, right, make our navigation. And this is the navigation that's going to be across our site wide. And what's nice is for Web 1, this is all I'm requiring. This is the bare minimum for your grade. A home page, a portfolio, and a contact page, and the 404. That's it. Any other pages you make, you know, like whatever you want to make, it's your website. Like, have fun with it. It's all additional stuff. So that's it. We're going to go into our navigation, hit A tab. Again, I'm on the home page, index.html, index.html. Okay. And if I want to go to portfolio, right, what am I going to type here? Portfolio. What is the name of my file? Portfolio.html. All right, there's our contact form. Now, normally you don't want to link to your 404, which makes sense, right? No one wants to. People will discover your 404. You don't actually need to explicitly link to it. And so now that we have our navigation on our homepage, we want the same navigation across our entire site. And so for Web 1, you have to copy and paste. In the other web classes, I teach you how to make this one time and have it appear across your entire site, but it's outside the scope of this class. So for Web 1, just copy and paste. We're going to copy that, and then we're going to go into portfolio.html and just paste it right. Let's paste it below our H1 there, right? So that's oh wait, we have it above. So my bad. So we're going to paste it above our H1. Okay. And later on, you're going to be able to go in and just put this navigation wherever you like. So there's our navigation for portfolio. We're going to go to contact and wash, rinse, and repeat. And that looks like contact already had navigation from a previous lecture. We're just going to paste it right into there. So the upside to this is we have navigation across our entire site. The downside to this is if we make a change to our navigation, we have to make the change in 4 places, right? In all of our HTML files. So index.html, 404, and portfolio. Okay, oops. Now let's go to 404, which is missing our navigation. And let's paste it right into there. Now let's go ahead and check this. And to check this, we're going to go ahead and click on our deploy button. Okay. And let's go ahead and check our deploy website like so. All right. So this is our deployed website. And you'll notice something right here, that it has HTTPS in front of it. This is the major reason, and I can't zoom in any further on this. This is the major reason why we're switching to Netlify. Is this is going to be our staging internal, so we can test. We're going to have our custom domain point to Netlify, and that's going to be our production. That's for the world to see, because we don't want to see the world. The world doesn't want to see us experiment with this, and that is the process that I'm teaching you here. Is you got to keep those two separate. Yeah. All right. So with me so far, we have so let's make sure this is working. We'll click on portfolio, check. Right. Again, portfolio doesn't have our background because we haven't loaded in that style sheet. Your contact form, portfolio, home, good. And then we want to make sure that this is working. Go to the end of your URL, right, and just smash down on your keyboard again, right, /, right, smash down your keyboard when we do file and folder structure, /, right, and there's our 404. Okay. Good so far. This is CodePen's default 404. Okay. So what I'm doing right now is getting us ready to just design our websites. Design should be fast, right? I mean, sorry, coding should be fast. Design should be slow. Colin, I spent 5 hours trying to code my website and say, you should have stopped at the first hour. Why is it taking so long? What? Well, why are you being a jerk about this? No. What should take 5 hours is picking a typeface. What should take 5 hours is all the design elements, about picking colors, right? It's about rethinking your layout. Implementing that should be fast, 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 right? And that's one of the big things I need to get our head around. Is I had a student say to me, I spent 10 hours on this site. I'm like, doing what? And now if they would have said to me, I spent 10 hours trying to pick just the best font, I said, yeah, that's our job. That's a good way to spend your time. That is a great, great way to spend your time. A bad way to spend your time, right? Figuring out all the stuff that we're doing today. All of the stuff should already be in place, right? Thumbs up. We're good in this part. I'm not moving forward until I see some thumbs.
Can you show me where the
Otherwise, I'm
deployment?
gonna have you all turn on your webcam so I can see your faces. All right.
Can you show me where the deployment
I can't
is
do that,
again?
by the way. All right, now let's go into custom domain. So again, to get into here, we went to deploy. Okay, we're in custom domain. We are going to remove our custom domain from CodePen. We're going to remove our custom domain from CodePen. So Colin, are you essentially like negating what we did last lecture? Yes. Okay, I'm going to show you why that's the case here in just a little bit. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hit delete on this. Okay, and now we don't have a custom domain name anymore, and that's it. Okay, so this right here is our staging URL, right? This is the one that is only visible to you and to me. This is not the one that we're going to give to our friends, and this is not the one that we're going to give to our clients and our employers. Okay, so this is staging, and we've removed the custom domain. Okay, all right, with me on that. Okay, thank you, Callum. Yes, bottom right-hand corner is the staging stuff. All right, so we've removed our custom domain. I'm going to hit delete on that, and we click save changes. Okay, and I'm paranoid, so I'm going to double check, go back and double check that it's still there. I'm going to hit close, hit save changes, then I'm going to hit close again. Back into deploy. Okay. Make sure that my custom domain, yes, is indeed removed. So I should have no custom domain. You should have no custom domain. Okay. All right, to make sure that we all understand this, what I want you to do is copy your staging URL, right? The one here with this crazy domain name, and paste it into the chat, please. Just making sure that we're all still here. Paste it into the chat, please. Okay. Well, there's mine. Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Brandon, Cole, Carissa, Andy, Ashley. Thank you. All right. Get them all in there. All right. This is the ones I'm going to be double checking. All right. I think that's quorum. Okay. So we're done with this. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is turn off screen sharing to this particular screen. Okay, I think this is my face. Yes. All right. I'm gonna show you what we need to do with Netlify. All right. So you should be logged into Netlify at this point. Go ahead and get logged into Netlify. And what I need to be able to do is share my desktop or share my local computer so you can actually see this process. So get logged into Netlify while I do all this. Now, what I want you to do first is just watch me do this, okay? And then later on, right, in your own time, you can make this happen, okay? So the first thing I need you to do is just watch me walk through this process, okay? Okay, so what the major reason is we need something called secure SSL, okay? And to get it on CodePen is just additional work that we're gonna have to create this account called Cloudflare. And you all have been to a website that it tells you that this website is insecure, right? So put up a thumbs up that you've been to a website and says like this site is secure, like it's trying to, okay. So right now that's the default. And what we're trying to do is get that for free. And it's a lot of work. And a service like Netlify, which you're going to be using in web now 1, 2, and 3, makes this a lot easier. And for right now, it seems like additional work until we do it the long way. And in Web 2, I will show you the long-winded process to get the same thing to happen. So this is actually going to be the faster way, believe it or not. So go back into your site for a minute, okay, and to your project, your CodePen project, and down at the bottom corner, okay, is a button called Export. And so I'm going to go ahead now and share this screen. All right, there's a button called Export, and you go ahead and click on it, and it should look something like this. You all should be seeing my screen right now. And you're basically downloading a zip file, right, of all of the assets that you have up on CodePen. So what we're doing right now is we're going to our production site. We're leaving our staging site and we're going to our production site. And the production site is the one that you give to your clients, and the production site is the one that you give to the world. And so we're using our imagination right now that this is working. And so a good way to do this is just to go ahead and download the zip file. Okay. And what you're looking at, of course, is a blank page, but what CodePen just did was it took all of the assets that's on their site and it zipped it up for me, and you go ahead and download it. And then I need you to go find that downloaded file, and it's going to vary depending upon what platform you're using here. And so now I need to turn off my, let's see. You still see my screen, correct? Wow, it's got a lot of windows to make this happen.
We're looking at your CodePen website.
Yeah, let's see here. All right, thanks, Blake. All right, there is. All right. Oh, good. There's my desktop. Okay, so everyone, you should be seeing my desktop. Yay, yay. Yes. All right. Thank you, Tiffany. All right. So this is my desktop, and so right there is that file that I downloaded from CodePen. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to extract it. Okay. And this is on Windows, I believe it's uncompress. I don't want to show you the other stuff. All right. Good. And it's this long-winded, like just randomly generated name, but that's okay. That's technically your website. And if I open this extracted file up, right, and then I pop this open in a new tab, right, like look, there's my website. But you'll notice the URL now, it says file. So right now, any change I make to this website that we're looking at here is only good on this computer at this point in time. It's local. It's nothing but the local changes. And we want this is to be remote. And so we need to get it off our local computer. And in Web 2, right, also in a normal Web 1 class, when we learn version control, I talk a lot about your computers catching on fire or just breaking or getting stolen, right? And it sounds like a really mean thing to say, but I taught a student version control and how to take care of their files, because that's the most important thing at a company. Number one, the employees are the most important. Number two is your files and folders. And the student says to me, long story short, their roommate basically ruined their laptop, right? And I said, oh, that's fine. I'm sorry to hear about your laptop, but let's go get the files. And they said, I didn't back it up. I didn't use version control. And I said, well, that's too bad. What we can't do is we can't lose the files and folders. We have to protect it, right? That is the lifeblood of a project. Like that's the most important thing of a project is the files and the folders, right? And you're not going to be able to do real work unless you protect these files. Okay. So we need to get it off our computer. This is temporary, right? Right now, if my computer were to catch on fire, which I've seen it happen, I used to work in IT, okay, that it's actually at a different location. So that location for us is going to be Netlify. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this folder that I've extracted, okay, and all I'm going to do is Netlify makes this so simple. Okay, if you take this file right here and you drop it into this place that says want to deploy your website without Git, that's where you're dropping it. Okay, so take this and just go bloop, and you would not believe how fast that built the website. It's done. And then what you have now is this custom domain right there. okay? And it's being hosted on Netlify, and what you have is secure SSL and all that stuff that, okay. At first, Netlify looks really, really intimidating, but I want you to kind of slowly get used to it. So I'm gonna stop screen sharing there. I'm gonna share my Netlify screen. All right, so let me show you that again on my desktop. Okay, so I'm gonna pretend, right, for just a second. I'm gonna go in here and delete all of this and just, okay. 405, take the lid off. I just got handed a note. All right, this is a local file, right? This is the local website that we just downloaded. Like Colin, I know I get this now. If you get this, great. Just hang in there. I need to make sure everybody gets this, not just you. Okay, here's a local one that starts with file. We wanted to start with HTTPS, right? For HTTP secure. Okay, and so that's the local version. And don't drag and drop the files. Don't drag and drop the files, right? Drag and drop the folder, right? I'm telling my son right now who's in the room. Drag and drop the folder, boy. You got it? What did I say? Files or folders?
Drag and drop the folders.
Everybody hear my boy? Drag and drop the folder. So take the folder that you just downloaded and just plop it right into there. And Netlify is going to rebuild this thing with a awesome, right, domain name. And now we can command click on this, right? And this is now our production. This is staging on CodePen. This is production on Netlify. Okay. You don't get production and staging on Webflow. And so now that you have this, right, this is a randomly generated name called Hungary Corona EA222C, right? We don't want that name. We want to go into our site settings here. And let's go ahead and rename the site. So we're going to change site name. And you can name this to be whatever you like. Now, if I name it Manikoff and you name it Manikoff, can this exist? And the answer is no, right? These domain names have to be unique. So if you name it something and it says it can't work, right? Like I think I already have something called, yeah, see, it's already taken. So I'm just going to call it Manikoff Web 1, okay? And hit save on this, right? And rename the name. So now we have our production, which is live to the world. And this is where we're going to point our hover domain name to. And then we have our local CodePen, or not local, we have our CodePen staging. So staging on CodePen, production on Netlify. And right now, yes, they look exactly the same because the sites haven't been updated. All right, I need to take a quick break. I'll be right back, okay? What I want you to do is do what I just did there. All right, we good? Okay, I'll be back in a couple of minutes, right? Again, export, download your files, extract it, right? Drag and drop the folder or the files. Parent folder, right? Take the parent folder, drag and drop it into Netlify. Right. Good? Go. All right, I'm back. Talk to me. Throw up a thumbs when you got it. Okay. I am worried about all the people who didn't come to class, but they can rewatch this lecture. So, all right. To make sure that this is working, okay. Oh, you can name it whatever you like, Ashley. So if you're going to go into the general and change site name, you can name this thing to whatever you like. So, all right, now that we got this, I want you to share your Netlify address. Okay, so grab your Netlify URL. Okay. See, notice that it broke because I changed the site name. So I'm going to come into here. Okay. And I'm going to paste it into the chat. Please paste your URL into the chat. And the last thing we're going to do is go into Hover. Okay, so paste inside of the chat, please paste your production. All right, now we can take a look at Andy's and at Kohl's. Okay. And Ashley's. All right. I think I'm good for now. Okay. I'm just grabbing these at random. Okay. All right. Now we got all those URLs working. All right. Now we're going to say, hey, hover. All right. Don't point to my staging, right, where I'm going to do all my work. All right. So to make sure that we understand this, let's go back into CodePen. So I'm going to basically, for right now, we're done with Netlify. You can just kind of close it up. All right. Into our something. Oh, we're not done Netlify just yet. Sorry. All right, let's go back into our staging on CodePen. Yes, I say a thing 3 times. Go to styles.css and let's change the background to a different color, right? So we can see the difference. Okay, I'm gonna make mine just gray. Okay, right. Just try something out. All right, take a moment, try something out. Make a change here. All right, gray and orange, red. Ooh. All right, and so then we can go into deploy and we can see that this is our staging, right? With it's gray and red. And now we have our Manakoff web1.netlify.app, and that's production. Staging, production, staging, production. 3rd time, staging, production. Okay, get it all working here. And once you're good, you're gonna wash, rinse, and repeat. And in the future web classes, I teach you a more streamlined way to do this. But for right now, it's if you like the way this looks, download it, upload it, download it, upload it. Yeah, and that's kind of the process we have to take. All right, the next thing I need you to do is log into Hover. Okay, go ahead and do that. And what we're going to do is log into Hover. Okay, and now we're going to point this to the right location. Okay, and now instead of pointing this to CodePen, we're going to point this to Hover, and we're not going to get all those errors that we were getting before. And those errors are just again, like we wanted our website to be secure. All right, so we're going to add in a record here. And a good place to start here is I'm going to take a look at another domain. And we only need to make these 3 records. Okay. All right, so Kayla, right? Kayla or Kyla? Kayla? It's Kayla. I know a Kyla. Kayla, Kyla? Am I pronouncing that correctly?
I mean, it's Kayla.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I'm not sure if it worked.
All right, so there you go, right? And that's fine, you have my picture. I would encourage you to put in your picture at some point, but all right, so same thing here. Notice it says HTTPS, right? Watch what happens when I remove the S. It's still going to redirect, and that is not a small thing, and that is not something that is easily done. And what Netlify is going to do is like, we'll take care of all those server headaches. Okay. A few years ago, we didn't need any of this, and now it's like absolutely necessary. Like if you go to an insecure website, it will tell you. All right. So the first record we're going to make, all right, so go find your domain. We're going to make a new record. We're going to make 3 records. The first A record we're going to make, I'm just going to copy and paste these, right, is the host name is going to be an asterisk. Just asterisk, right? Shift 8, asterisk. And the IP address is going to be the IP address of Netlify, right? And I'm going to paste that IP address inside of the chat. I'm going to leave the IP address up on the screen, okay? Right, and we're basically, what we're saying here is, hey, hover, all right, we're not going to the location of CodePen, we're going to the location of Netlify, and that's the address there. Okay, so we're going to hit add record on that. And so we've made an A record, okay, with the value of asterisk and, sorry, with the host name of the asterisk and the value of that IP address, okay? And I don't want to get into like why the asterisk and different class. Okay. All right. Now that we have the address, we can just paste in that, and then now we're going to use a placeholder, right? And the short version of this is just the @ symbol says, look, otherwise you'd have to type in like the name of it. And if you just say just go to the root of my domain and just use that name. So there's the @ symbol there. All right. So now we have a second A record where the host name is the @ symbol, and we're going to use the exact same IP address. Hit add record on that. All right, the third thing we're going to do is add in another record. Okay. And this record is going to be a CNAME record. And I believe it stands for a canonical name record. All right. Hey, look, canonical name record. Yeah, I got this right. And what we're going to do here is we're going to use the host name as www, right? And basically what it's doing is you don't have to type that in anymore, right? Now, if you hear anybody, especially on billboards and printed magazines love putting www into the URL. You don't have to anymore. Like the servers take care of all adding that www in. So now as a child, you probably had to type www, but nowadays you don't have to. So that's the other thing that modern websites are take care of for you. And the target for that, right, is going to be the subdomain, right? This is going to be the subdomain .netlify.app. Now, your subdomain is going to be different than my subdomain. So let's actually go get that subdomain. So if we're back into Netlify, if you already haven't left, make sure that you're logged into Netlify. There's your project of all the projects on here. There's your project. All right, so we want to be absolutely clear on this, and I need someone to yell out, what is the subdomain of my app? And that's okay if you butcher my name. Just need to make sure we understand this. What is the subdomain name of my website? The domain. Oh, go ahead, Caleb.
.netlify.app.
Perfect. All right. And we don't need the HTTP. We don't need the www, right? Caleb, we just need that. Or was it Andy? Did you say that? Is that you? Yes. All right. That's exactly what you need. I need you to copy yours, not mine. Don't point the domain that you paid for to my website. I want you to point the domain that you paid for to your website. So we're going to copy that, and we're simply going to paste it right into there, right? And in the next 15 minutes-ish, right, you're going to check back. You're going to type in your domain name, and it's going to go to the correct location. And that takes care of today's lecture. Okay. Oh, the other thing about today's lecture here. So we're going to check this before class ends is let's go ahead and log into CodePen. Okay. Everyone has a, all right. I'm thinking through right now what I see in your screens, and I'm hoping I'm not losing anybody. Back into CodePen, click on your profile and go to profile. So click on your profile avatar and go to profile. And then we're going to click on edit profile. And then I need you to go into billing for a second. Okay. All right. When, can you tell me the date, the renews date? What is it right here? What does it say the renews date is?
January 24th,
January 21st,
2021.
2021. Oh no, for yours, yours.
Mine says no. Mine says
May
May
7th.
May 7th. All right. Anybody else has a date earlier than May 7th?
I have May 1st.
May 1st. All right. So that's perfect. So what we can do now is we can go to change plan, y'all. Right. And you can keep this. You can keep all of your stuff. If you want to keep helping this awesome service, great. And you want to keep using all the advanced features, awesome. Okay. You can downgrade to the annual, and if you really want to go, you can even downgrade to the free plan. Okay, so we were going to do this at the end of the quarter. So the upside today's lecture is we get to do this earlier, and we'll have right, because we're not going to be using those other services anymore. Okay, if you're using anything that of the free plan, as soon as you downgrade, you will lose those after May 1st, or after May 4th. Okay, good there. Any questions on downgrading your CodePen account?
So we're not going to be using CodePen anymore.
No, we're going to use CodePen to write code. We're going to use
Gotcha.
CodePen to practice. We're not going to use CodePen for our live site.
Okay,
right?
gotcha.
Yeah, I'm going to introduce one more tool, right? And if you're already familiar with this, just I'm getting you ready for Web 2. Right? Again, normally in a Web 1 class, this is day one. Web 1 class day one is we use this app here called VS Code. So anybody has anybody used VS Code before? Yeah, so one of us, two of us, great, right? We're gonna get to that. Okay, but that's a different lecture, different class. VS Code has become the de facto web design and web development tool, and it's It's very, very good. But that's a different lecture. All right. So optionally, downgrade your account now. Okay. Make sure that you have your. All right. Let's check it. Let's see if anybody. All right. Now I'm going to type in Manikoff.xyz. And let's see if it worked. All right. All right. Good, good. Oh, it's going to my old site. I pointed to the wrong location. That's my bad. I got to fix that. All right. Is yours working? Is yours going to the right location? I have too many
Not yet.
websites. I have too many websites. All right. I'm going to stop this. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to fix the location of this. Mine's on the 9th. Okay. Yeah. So you're welcome to downgrade now. Basically, the 1st, the 4th, the 9th, whenever you're going to have access to the paid plan until in this case, the 9th or the 4th or the 1st, depending on the day that you created your account. So they're not going to cut your service like off immediately. And what that does is it gives us a few weeks to learn VS Code. It gives us a few weeks to use CodePen for what it's really, really good at is practice, right? CodePen is great for practicing. CodePen is not good for deployment. But I was trying to use one less tool in Web 1, but there's no avoiding it. It's just the modern requirements of web design. All right, you're my 6th hour of speaking, so I'm done now. Does anybody have any questions before I let you go?
I just tried to go to my
Good.
site,
All right,
and
have a good day.
it says
Keep up on Codecademy. Feel free to work ahead, but just keep revisiting it every day. Okay, all right. Take care.
Okay,
Hey,
someone
Colin.